After he was hit by a car, Goldie the dog was left by the side of the road to die. His injuries were so severe that the poor creature must have been in agonizing pain. But despite his ordeal, when help finally arrived, the suffering dog managed to muster up the energy to show his appreciation. Goldie is one of India's many street animals. He lived as a stray in the northern city of Udaipur in the state of Rajasthan. He relied on the charity of local residents who kindly fed him and kept him safe. Unfortunately, the local couldn't be there for Goldie all the time, and one day the dog was wandering the city's busy streets when a car struck him down. The impact of the crash left the dog badly injured and unable to walk. In fact, the animal was so severely wounded that all he could do was lie helplessly by the side of the road, hoping help would come. Thankfully, Goldie didn't have to wait long. His kind neighbor had come out in search of him, and when he found the dog injured on the muddy road, he immediately leapt into action. Without a second's hesitation, he called the animal rescue organization Animal Aid Unlimited. But when a rescue team arrived on the scene, it was clear that the stray was in very bad way. The accident had created a very large wound on his head and bent his front paw right over. Furthermore, the awful ordeal had obviously caused Goldie a great deal of distress. First of all, the rescuers tried to bond with the dog in order to ease his mind. They bent down to be at his level and gave him a reassuring stroke. Then they handed him a comforting blanket to snuggle into and keep warm. And almost immediately the canine began to relax. As soon as our rescuer Nandu approached, he started to wag his tail. Claire Abrams-Myers from Animal Aid Unlimited told the dodo. It seemed like he knew we were there to help and he trusted us. Goldie's trusting attitude made it easier for the team to scoop him up and transfer him to their clinic. Once there, it became brutally obvious just how severe the dog's injuries were. Aside from the open wound on his head, he'd also sustained significant trauma to the underside of his body. Vets had to sedate Goldie in order to treat his wounds, but once the medication had kicked in, they were able to gently clean his lacerations using syringes. And after they'd washed the affected areas, the experts then wrapped them up in bandages. The medical team also placed Goldie on an IV drip to help combat dehydration. Then they administered some anti-inflammatories and painkillers to the poor pooch. Finally, all that was left for the dog to do was get some much-needed rest. He was traumatized by the accident and his injuries and was completely exhausted, Abrams-Myers told the dodo. For several days he just slept. We continued the IV drips until he was stronger and started eating and drinking on his own. Slowly but surely, Goldie's wounds began to heal, and after 8 weeks at Animal Aid Unlimited, the dog had completely transformed. Video footage of his recovery showed the animal had overcome his horrific injuries and was loving his life once more. In fact, aside from a slight limp in his left front leg, Goldie was fighting fit. Moreover, he was one of the happiest dogs at the shelter. He would often greet his rescuers with a wagging tail before coaxing them into playing with him. He's one of the friendliest street dogs we've ever seen, which tells us that he's been loved by people in his neighborhood, Abrams-Myers told the dodo. And even after his ordeal, the dog was super affectionate too. He looks for a pet from everyone he meets and is incredibly cheerful and sweet. He does not want you to give any attention to anyone but him. The team at Animal Aid Unlimited decided that Goldie's recovery was too inspiring to keep to themselves, and so they posted a video documenting his transformation on YouTube. Not surprisingly, the footage proved to be very popular indeed. In just a few weeks, more than 140,000 people had tuned in to watch Goldie's story. Moreover, the extraordinary footage attracted over 500 comments. Many couldn't help but gush over the inspiring work that Animal Aid Unlimited do. "You did it again. You made me cry," one commenter wrote after the video was posted on Facebook. "Once again, your inspiring work has saved another beautiful, innocent soul from suffering. Thank you for all you do. You continually restore my faith in humanity." It's not clear what will become of Goldie once he's recovered fully. If his vets deem him to be well enough, he'll return to the community he came from. Otherwise, if he's unable to find food for himself, he'll live out his days at the Animal Aid Unlimited Sanctuary. But Goldie is bound to find happiness no matter where he ends up. The dog has proved that not only is he made of sturdy stuff, he also has a genuine love for life. And no matter what the world throws at him, he's always able to look on the bright side of life.